Make sure your insurance doesn't come up short. Get gap cover with ALA. For more information, follow the links in the description.
Hello everybody and welcome to the first of several winter specials for JayEmm on Cars in 2025. And in this episode, we're going to be taking a Ferrari on a road trip. Now, before we get started proper, I wish to say simply a big thank you for clicking on this video. And that's because a lot of people in my comment section say they want me to make more Harry Metcalfe style road trips. But the truth is, when I do, they don't tend to get the views, and they are quite intensive to make. Now, I love making them, so I'm going to continue doing it, but it'd really help inspire me to make more if you'd hit that like button, comment down below either now or at the end of the video, and if you haven't already, hit that subscribe button too. And where better to start a road trip than here at Brands Hatch for the Ferrari Challenge. This is one of a number of rounds that Ferrari run both here in the UK and abroad. And if you love Ferraris, this is a great place to come and see them up close and personal. Here in the car park today, we've got everything from a Mondial to a 355, 360s, F430s, 458s, 488s, F8s. There's an SF90XX. We've got Pura Sangue. We've got race cars from different eras. If you just like seeing these cars out and about, this is a great place to come. But I've chosen this as the venue for our start point, not just because of the wonderful eye candy or the Ferrari connection, but instead because any great road trip needs three components: a destination, a method of transport, and a companion. So, what are we doing in this video? Well, first, the destination. That's easy. We are going to Monaco as part of EuroRun 2025 on a journey which is going to take in a couple of Europe's best known driving roads, and hopefully a few hidden ones too. Companion? Well, that is the lovely Ben, aka Ben the Sparkle, who last year started this whole thing entirely accidentally when he borrowed the 550 for a few weeks, loved it, and said, "James, if ever you want to do one of these fancy pants European getaway things, I'd love to be involved." That very same week, Andrew, who runs EuroRun, got in touch and said, "James, I run a fancy pants European trip thing. If you'd like to be a part of it, please let me know." So I said to him, "Yeah, you know what? Actually, a mate of mine said he'd like to do it. I'll come along." Andrew very kindly helped contribute towards it because we are making this film. And so that leaves us with just the one remaining piece of the puzzle: what car to take. Now, I'm lucky enough to have a few different options. I spoke to Ben fairly early on about what he'd want to take, and of course, he wanted to take a Ferrari, and that's no problem. Now, I thought a little bit about the 550, but I'd already planned to take that on the Le Mans Classic. And as it happens, the 550 had other ideas about its own availability anyway. Now, in an ideal world, you might say something like this: the Ferrari Roma would be a perfect road trip car. Comfortable, fast, plenty of storage space, but it's still a Ferrari. However, I've already taken a Roma on a road trip this year when I took the Spider up to Scotland. Then, of course, you have the Scuderia, and while this is not the obvious road trip car, I did do one in it last year, taking it all the way down to Andorra. And I've got to say, even though this is designed as a lightweight, tripped-out track special, the sort of thing that's supposed to be much more at home here than it is on a mountain pass 700 miles away, it did fantastically. That in my fleet left then only the F12. Another ideal candidate for a big road trip. But I was also unsure as to whether I was going to keep or sell that car, and as it happens, it's gone off for a big service. However, all the way along, I did have another plan. You see, we're not taking this. The car we're taking is over there, the Ferrari 296 GTS. See, Late last year, Ferrari got in touch and said, James, there are a few cars in the fleet you've yet to drive. One of which was the Roma Spider, and another of which was this. I last got to drive the 296 in GTB form, complete with the hardcore Assetto Fiorano pack, and that was a couple of years ago. This is a very different affair. It's got the regular road-biased suspension, and because it's a GTS, it's a convertible. But it's still got a 3-litre V6, 2 turbos, an electric motor, and over 800 horsepower, a top speed of over 200 miles an hour, and a list price here of almost £400,000. So I thought I was being a little bit cheeky when I said to Ferrari, hey, can I just borrow this for a week and go down to the south of France in it? And they said, yeah, sure. Oh, and just in case you think you recognise this car, you probably do, because not too long ago, Chris Harris was sliding it around a track. Very impressive, and I'm happy to say that it now has fresh tyres on it too, all ready for our big trip. But before we go away, I did want to give Ben a little treat. I know the Scuderia does hold a very special place in Ben's heart, as it does in mine, dating back to the days of things like Project Gotham Racing 4. So, as a little treat, I sent him out in it on the parade lap. So, let's show you a little bit of that first.
I don't have to look no further, 'cause I've reached my destination. I used to be lost, but now I'm found. As long as I know that you'll be around, I don't have to keep on searching. I'm right where I wanna be. I used to be so sad, now I'm glad I found something I never had, and I'm ready. Yeah, yeah. This time I'm going all in. Yes, I'm ready. Yeah, yeah. I'm ready for the good times to begin. Hey, I don't have to.
Well, I quite enjoyed that. Lovely to get to see all of the different cars out and about and in some pretty amazing specs. What was your favourite? Comment down below. And now to business and our first issue. You see, storage space in the 296 is actually not too bad. Compared to your average Lamborghini or Audi R8, it's pretty good. However, it's not quite as good as the 430. And the boot in the 430 is full, and behind the seats, you've got more space. So, we need to fit all of our stuff from that into this without breaking anything. Wish me luck.
For the good times to begin. I'm so excited. Yeah, I'm all fired up, and I ain't gonna stop. I won't fight it. I'm going right to the top. Yes, I know what I got is 1 in a million. Like a dream come true, just to be with you. I'm ready. I'm ready for the
Right, so thing is, my filming kit, it typically consists of that big bag down there and my very large Dodo Juice hold all, on top of which I then have to put all of my stuff. So you see, for a normal person going away for a week, this would be absolutely fine. Not a normal person. What's in here? I don't know what's in here. Could it be a toolkit? Could it be a pack of playing cards? No, it's squirty cream for the compressor, which I think we're going to keep.
yeah, yeah. I know it's time. I'm all set for the best thing yet. I'm ready. Yeah, I'm ready. For a ride.
Now all we have to fit in is my spring-summer collection. Don't let my mum see this, she's ironed some of these.
To begin.
So, here we are at the first stop, the rather magnificent Tinley Hall Hotel. We arrived yesterday on Sunday, and it's now Monday morning. And today, the adventure starts proper, because by the end of the day, we will be in northern France, having just driven past the Reims circuit. Now, today's journey is probably one of the shorter ones, and one of the less eventful. It is tomorrow where the roads start to get really interesting. But I thought I'd show you a few of the cars around here and talk to you a little bit more about why it is that I signed up for this, knowing that it's not the sort of thing that I usually do. First off, it is not all Ferraris and supercars here, though we have plenty of both. We have 911s, there's a Mustang, a Z3M over there, we've got this gorgeous Aston Martin GT8 behind it, the Mercedes AMG over there, got a Jaguar F-Type, got a few Defenders, Range Rovers, all sorts of stuff, for all are welcome on the EuroRun. And that I love. Heck, there's even a Mercedes SLK over there. And there was yesterday a Clio as well. Now this is the first EuroRun, but it isn't the first event that Andrew has hosted. He's done lots of other stuff before, and this is his baby. And so he's trying to do things properly. And that includes putting on a very generously sized support staff. There must be at least a dozen people who are here to make sure that your experience is a good one, which means you've got people that are up front, people that are at the back, there are mechanical support people, also media people whose footage I'll likely be using throughout this video, and these are all the many little things that explain why you might want to do something like this as opposed to your own adventure. Now, I've done plenty of those myself, I love them to pieces, and I would recommend them to anybody and everybody. But if you're looking for someone to take the stress out of all the organising stuff, allowing you to just do the driving bit, this is a very, very good way to do it. And there is one other key difference between EuroRun and many other similar looking events, which is the fact that where they involve people driving in a convoy, with this you have your morning start point and your end point. How and when you get from A to B is up to you, which means that you don't have to follow the person in front, you don't have to go the routes they're going, you don't have to go as fast as they're going. It allows you to take the thing at your pace. And that really was key for me, because I've been on events before and heard a million stories, as I'm sure you have, of foolishness, and I don't want to be anywhere near it. But that being said, yesterday I did have a good chance to talk to quite a few of the other participants as well as the staff here, and they're all really, really lovely people. So I'm quite looking forward to spending a bit more time with them, getting to know them, and of course getting to see their cars out and about. But I'm sure you've clicked on this video looking for some rather amazing scenery. So, nice as this is, I think we can do a little bit better. How's that? Welcome to Switzerland. But how exactly did we get here? Well, on Monday morning we set off from England. We then travelled over to Folkestone, taking the Channel Tunnel. From there we went to France and drove down, staying in one of the most amazing hotels I've ever seen, Chateau Lafort. And as the name would suggest, it is a genuine medieval age fort. It was incredible, and we were able to park all the cars in the courtyard. And if you are trying to think of reasons why you would pay to go on a trip like this, have somebody else organise it when you know you can do it cheaper, that's just one of many examples why I think it is a good idea. I'll admit, I've been kind of skeptical about it myself for a very, very long time. But I'm really glad that Andrew talked me into it, particularly as it's brought me here, to the Sustern Pass, one of 3 mountain passes we're going to be taking in on this trip. And this one is good enough to warrant a montage. And so, how is our now fly-spattered steed doing? Well, I've got to say, I've been generally very impressed with this car. But if you want to know my thoughts in detail on it, I'm going to be filming a whole video talking about the 296 GTS. What then is next for the tour? Well, tomorrow morning, we're headed into Italy, only very briefly for the next of our Alpine passes. We'll then be returning over into France and eventually down into Monaco. But before then, we've got one more stop to make and one last iconic route that somehow in my decade and a half of driving and many European road trips, I've never experienced. That's the Route Napoleon. And there we are, we're in Monaco, and we've got a garden here at the Fairmont, which is nice. Anyway, you'll have to excuse us because it's been a fairly long week of driving. I've had a good time. You had a good time?
Fantastic time.
And this is sort of the end of the EuroRun. All that remains is for a final dinner, a few stories. Apparently there's an award ceremony, though I've no idea what the awards are, in the morning breakfast, and then everybody departs. So that's the end of the trip, but not the end of the video, for we still have quite a bit of way to go. But if you've enjoyed watching the video thus far, and EuroRun sounds like your sort of thing, well, I'll leave details of the next trip in a little montage, and you'll then join us on our way to Germany through the home of Ferrari, Italy.
For 2026, Andrew and the team have taken on board all of the feedback from this year's trip and aim to make the next one even more appealing to the keen driver. And that's no mean feat, considering this one already included at least half a dozen driving roads I count amongst the best I have ever experienced. Believe it or not, but to keep this video a reasonable length, I've cut out so much of the trip. However, this montage should give you just a little flavour of what can be expected. We had not just amazing scenery and good roads, but fantastic company, with every night featuring a varied selection of food in good spaces to stay and great people to talk to. One highlight for me was the ski lodge that was opened just for us on the penultimate night's stay. I also got to experience for the very first time the legendary Furka Pass, and I am delighted to say it did not disappoint. And I'm pretty sure Ben had a good time too. In fact, so did everybody that I spoke to. And for that reason, if you're thinking of doing a trip like this, I would heartily recommend the EuroRun. Now, I can't say it's the best out there, but I can tell you I really enjoyed it, and I will be doing another.
we are at Motorworld Munich. Now you've likely seen this place a few times before, either with other YouTubers or over at JayEmm and Friends, where Ant and I did a video talking you through some of the amazing things you'll find here. And if, for whatever reason, you're not familiar with it, well, this is one of the best petrol-head friendly hotels you'll find anywhere in the world. It's part conference centre, part service centre, part dealership, part hotel, part restaurant, part experience, all rolled into one. And if you've been thinking of coming to this part of Germany for any reason with your car, this is the place to stay. And they've got some pretty cool accommodation too. Let me show you mine. Now, the last time I stayed here, I was in a room sort of up there with a view of a magnificent Mercedes 300 SL outside my hotel room window. Since then, a few changes have been made, including the fact the Bugatti dealership is now open. So I'm staying in a hotel that has over there a couple of Chirons, a Veyron and the Bolide, which is nice. Now, in case you hadn't noticed already, they do things very differently here at Motorworld. And when I last visited one over at Cologne as part of my Andorra road trip with Ant and my Scuderia, we booked one of their car studios, which is just about the best hotel room you can ever imagine. A very nice little room, and next to it, you can park your car. Well, the last time I was here, my good friend Ant was standing outside one of these rooms, which are the bike studios. And that's what I've got the key to today. And I tell you something, I think we can all agree that today, good customer service is something of a dying art, but not here. Bike studio's great, right? But I don't have a bike. And they knew that. So they left one in here, courtesy of the Triumph dealer, also at Motorworld. It's a nice new Daytona 660. Very kind, Motorworld. A finer way to finish this trip I couldn't imagine. So I wish to say a big thanks to all of you that watched today, to Andrew from EuroRun for inviting us out, to Ben the Sparkle for coming with me, and to the team at Motorworld for making this a fantastic finish. Cheers. Here's to 2026. God.